The Kenya Rugby Union annual general meeting scheduled for tomorrow hangs in the balance after the Ministry of Sports requested for it to be postponed. They meet tonight to deliberate on the request. Meanwhile, the battle lines have been drawn on the eve of the elections, which are touted to be the magic bullet that could change the fortunes of the game. The chairman position is in the main focus, with Oduor Gangla, Sasha Mutai and Asiko Owiro gunning to replace Richard Omwela. Bernard has more on this.
On the 20th of March, the Kenya Rugby Union will be hosting its annual general meeting, which will double up as the election date. Now, 3 candidates are vying for the position of chairman after the incumbent, Richard Omwela, stated that he will not be vying for that position. We sought to find out what these gentlemen have to offer in terms of salvaging the lost glory of the game. Oduor Gangla is a director of the Kenya Rugby Union and a former chairman of Impala. A lethal flanker in his heyday, Gangla believes the board has had more highs than lows, despite the union struggling financially and the National Rugby Sevens team, the sport's flagship brand, on the brink of relegation from the World Sevens series.
Last year was a really challenging year for us as a board financially, and for the game as a whole. There were a lot of assignments, but also we had withdrawals by our sponsors, not because for any fault of our own, but there were changes in legislation which affected their business.
The 42-year-old has centered his vision for Kenya Rugby on revitalizing the technical aspects of the game, which he believes have dwindled in the past few years.
Because at the end of the day, you get measured by the results that you deliver. But more important, how do you build a long-term, successful team environment, which ensures you're able to compete for high honors?
Resolving sponsor apathy is also a critical pillar if he is elected chairman. Sasha Mutai, a former KRU vice chairman and who lost narrowly in the previous election to the current chairman, Richard Omwela, by 2 votes, is confident of attracting the necessary sponsorship for the cash-strapped union.
We have to distribute this money. The resources need to go to the clubs, and where it's felt most, upper machinani, as they say, with the players. Yeah.
In the past 2 Rugby World Cup cycles, Kenya has missed to qualify for the 2015 tournament, and this year's competition despite having a rich pedigree. If elected, Mutai wants to rekindle the partnership with South Africa to enhance the country's technical skills.
We are going to work with South Africa Rugby Union, which is a very strong union in the world. We are looking at getting the Kenya team in the Super Sport Challenge Cup next year. And of course, to open up again our relations with Western Province, to get technical support from them.
A former senior KCB manager, Asiko Owiro, who is eyeing Omwela's post, believes he has the recipe for success. Owiro, who is also a former KCB rugby chairman and former tournament director of the Safari Sevens during its heyday, plans to combine his corporate experience to reclaim the game's glory if he garners the winning votes.
It's just copy-paste. We run KCB on certain standards, systems and procedures. KCB rugby. I'm also from the corporate world. I want to copy the corporate governance standards and principles, be it in HR management, be it in financial management, and bring them to the rugby union.
Owiro is also considering revamping the structure of the secretariat to enhance efficiency.
I think I'd rather run a sports federation with youth and volunteers and part-time workers, as opposed to having permanent and pensionable or contractual employees.
The Kenya Cup and lower tier clubs will ultimately decide on Wednesday which candidate will strike the right chord, with the rugby fraternity hoping the new chairman will be the sport's saving grace. Bernard for Citizen TV.